everyone, welcome to the continuation of operation research lecture. Today I am going to discuss simplex method. So far we discussed linear programming problems, how to solve the linear programming problem by the simplex method we discussed. Now we are going to discuss simplex method. This simplex method is a method for solving the linear programming problems instead of graphical method. This method invented by George Dantzig in 1947. The simplex method is suitable for more than two decision variables. When we have the more than two variables, we choose the simplex method. Why? Because if suppose the variables are x1 and x2, when we have the two variables, the graphical method is suitable. If it exceeds the count of the decision variables is more than 2, it is difficult to find the optimal solution. For example, if we have more constraints and more decision variables, we get the different polygons. If this is a feasible region, we get. Here we have difficult to identify the extreme point or optimal point by the help of the graphical method. That's why we choose the simplex method to overcome this difficulty. Okay, the simplex algorithm is an iterative procedure for finding the optimal solution to a LPP. Here we are taking the tables and we are taking the iterations step by step up to the reach the goal. What is our goal? We get the optimal solution. From getting the optimal solution by the constraints up to the optimal solution, we did the processes iteratively. Okay, it is a simply selects the optimal solution among the set of feasible solutions of the problem. Coming to the standard form of simplex method, here we have certain rules to choose the simplex method, or here we have certain rules to apply the simplex method to the LPP model. First rule is all the constraints should be expressed as equations by adding slack or surplus and or artificial variables. From this single point, here we have all the constraints it must be in less than or equal to type. When we have the less than or equal to type constraint, then only the simplex is possible. Otherwise, we convert that into the equality by adding the slack variables, surplus variables, or by multiplying the -1. Or by adding the artificial variables, we have to convert the equation into less than or equal to type. Next, the right hand side of each element or each constraint is a non-negative. If not, we convert into accordingly. Suppose x1 plus x2 less than or equal to -10 is there. It is possible? No, why? Because it is possible. It is a less than or equal to type constraint. But coming to the right hand side value, here we have the negative value. But our rule is we require non-negative value. Okay. So it is difficult to solve the simplex method by this form. So now we are going to convert this into the required form by multiplying the 1. If suppose -x1 minus x2 greater than or equal to 10. After converting this, the standard form is the standard rule is overcome. Means here our rule is all constraints must be less than or equal to 10. But after converting this, we get the greater than or equal to type constraint here. That's why for these cases, simplex is not suitable. For this, we have another method we discuss later. Okay, about that. Next, all the variables are non-negative. All the variables are non-negative. Here we see this like this x1 plus x2 less than or equal to 5. Like this we require in simplex method. The objective function should be of maximization type. Sometimes it may be in minimization type. Okay, if it is a minimization type, we convert into the maximization type. Suppose we have the minimization equation, we convert it into maximization type constraint by multiplying the -1. Okay, by multiplying -1. This is the standard rule for applying the simplex method to LPP. Okay, what is the rule? Rule number 1 is all constants are less than or equal to type. If it not, we convert into less than or equal to type by various rules, by multiplying the -1 or by adding the slack variables or by adding the surplus variables or artificial variables. Okay. Next, all constants right hand side values must be positive. It is non-negative value. Otherwise, we convert it to accordingly. Next, objective function is maximization. These are the standard rules for solving the simplex method. Next, coming to the simplex method, terminology we are using in simplex method, we are going to know this slide. Okay, when the decision variables are more than 2, we always use simplex method. Already we discussed. Okay, here we have the term is slack variable. What is the slack variable? In graphical method also we discussed about the slack variables. A variable added to a less than or equal to type constraints to convert into the equality. Okay, if the equation is, if we have the x1 plus x2 is equal to 5, here we have the inequality is there. So now we are going to convert this inequality by adding the slack variable. Slack variable means x1 plus x2 plus s1 is equal to 5. This s1 is called as the slack variable. It does not affect or it does not impact the equations or constants or objective functions. Okay, here the value of the slack variable is very minute, or it is also called as 0. Okay. Next, coming to the surplus variables. Surplus variables. The variable subtracted from the constant greater than or equal to type. When we have the greater than or equal to type constant, we are going to convert the greater than or equal to into the equality. That inequality into equality. Simply we are taking the surplus variable. For example, if we have x1 plus x2 greater than or equal to 5, now we are going to convert this into the equality. By the help of surplus variable, we convert this inequality into equality. Here surplus means we are subtracting the value from the equation. Okay, here minus s1 is the surplus variable. Okay, surplus variables contribute, surplus or slack variables contribute nothing to calculate the value of the objective function. It means, if suppose here we have the two equations. For example, if I assume this is s2, if we have the objective function is 10x1 plus 5x2, after converting these inequalities into equalities, we get two more variables. Those are the slack and surplus variable. Here we are adding these surplus variable values 0s1 and 0s2 to the objective function. It does not affect. Okay, it does not contribute any value to the objective function. Next, coming to the basic variables. Basic is the set of variables present in the solution have positive non-zero values. These variables are also called as basic variables. For example, if we take x1 plus x2 plus s1 is equal to 5, here what is the x1 and x2? x1 and x2 are the decision variables. Decision variables, and s1 is the slack variable. So far we discussed like this. Coming to the simplex, here basic variables we are going to find. How we find the basic variables? Here we assume x1 and x2 is equal to 0, and we find the near value of the equality. If s1 is equal to, we are going to find. How we find s1 value? By assuming the x1 and x2. By assuming x1 and x2. Here I would like to take x1 and x2 is equal to 0. From this we get s1 is equal to 5. Here x1 and x2 are called as the basic variables. S1 and s2 are called as the basic variables. Okay. Here non-basic variables. Here x1 and x2 are the non-basic variables and s1 is the basic variable. Here what is the value of the non-basic variable? Non-basic variable is 0. That basic variable value is 5. Here variables, basic variable means the positive non-zero values. Here the positive non-zero value, where we have at slack variable we have the positive non-zero value. That's why the slack variables are called as the basic variables. Sometimes the surplus variables are also called as the basic variables. Sometimes the artificial variables are also called as the basic variables. So coming to the decision variables, the decision variables are called as the non-basic variables. Okay. Then coming to the degeneracy term. Here it rises when there is a tie in the minimum ratio. Here in simplex we are going to find the minimum ratio for going the another iterations. For example, if we have x1 and x2 constant here, here 1, 2, 2, 1 is there. Now we don't know how, which one is leaving and which one is entering the variable, we don't know. Here we have another slack variable also there. From this we are going to find the optimal solution by calculating the minimum ratio. Here the minimum ratio is 500 founding from the basic variables and contribution of the basic variable we are taking, and from that we are finding the minimum ratio. When we are obtaining the tie from this minimum ratio, that is called as the degeneracy problem. In our examples we get this term. Next, coming to the algorithm, simplex algorithm. Here we have here we have some steps to solve the simplex method. First one is the formulate the problem. In LPP also we convert the total data into the mathematical model by applying some rules. Okay. Here coming to the simplex also we have certain rules. First, formulate the mathematical model of the given linear programming model. How we convert this? By identifying the objective function and constraints, we convert the given mathematical model into LPP. Okay, already we discussed in previous cases. Next, if the objective function is minimization type, then change into maximization type. Why we are going to convert this minimization into maximization? Already we discussed standard form of the simplex method. In the standard form, we required all objective functions are maximization type only. So if it is a minimization type, we convert into the maximization type by multiplying the -1. Okay. Next, third one. Check with all the bi values are positive. If any one of them is negative, then multiply the corresponding constraint. What is the bi here? What is the BA? BA is equation. Here x1 plus x2 is there, na? X1 plus x2 less than or equal to type. Suppose 0 is there or otherwise 10 is there. Here these x1 x2 are the BA. We are assuming here. Okay. Or these are also called as the linear equations. BA is called as the linear equations. Okay. If it is negative, we convert. We are converting that sign into positive by applying the by multiplying the -1 or by applying the less than or greater than or equal to type. Okay. Here when we are converting this into the positive values, we have one rule. So it must be, the constraint must be in less than or equal to type only. Okay. We have to remember that. Next, coming to the next point, express the given LPP in the standard form by adding additional variables in constraint and assign a zero cost coefficient to these variables in the objective function. It means if we have the objective function is z is equal to 5x1 plus 5x2. If we have the constant is x1 plus x2 less than or equal to 5, 10x1 plus 7x2 less than or equal to 10. If we have these two are the constraints. When we are converting this into the equalities from equation 1, how we convert the inequalities in a simplex? If it is a less than or equal to type constraint, we add the slack variables x1 plus x2 is equal to 5. Next, coming to the equation 2, x1 plus x2 here s2 is equal to 10. Okay, here we are converting inequalities into equalities. We are converting the variable constant variables and we add the zero coefficient to the object function for balancing. In object function, how many decision variables are there? How many variables are there? Only 2 variables. But our constraint we have, how many variables are there? 4 variables are there. So we have to balance that object function by adding the zero coefficient. 5x1 plus 5x2 plus, we are adding s1 and s2 variables in this object function with the contribution of 0 s1, 0 s2, like this. Okay, and final one is replace each unrestricted variable with the difference of the two non-negative variables. Okay, if we have any variable, unrestricted variable, we are going to change that variable into the non-negative variables. Okay, it is a formulation of the problem. How we are formulating the problem? First, we convert the mathematical model into LPP. Then we check the standard form of the or conical form of the simplex. What is the conical form of the simplex? All the objective functions must be in maximization type. If it not, we are going to apply the multiply by -1. We are going to convert that into the maximization type. Next, what is the next one? What is the conical form of the simplex? Next one, all constants must be in less than or equal to type. If not, we are going to convert that into the less than or equal to type. Next, third one is if the constant is having the right hand side is negative value, we are going to convert the negative value into the non-negative value. That is a standard form. Based on these rules, we are going to formulate the problem. Next, coming to the simplex method algorithm, second step, find out the initial basic feasible solution. Here, what is the initial basic feasible solution? Already we discussed a basic solution, basic variables and non-basic variables. From that, we are going to find the initial basic feasible solution. Here, initial basic feasible solution means, already we have taken the example is x1 plus x2 plus s1 is equal to 5, x1 plus 7x2 plus s2 is equal to 5 or 15. If we have these two equations, two linear equations, from these two linear equations we are going to find the initial basic feasible solution. Okay, here what are the basic variables here? The basic variables are s1, s2, sf, s1, s2, and non-basic variables are x1, x2. Okay, here we are going to find the initial basic feasible solution means which variable is near to the equality, that variable is called as, that variables are getting the initial basic feasible solution. Okay, here what are the basic variables from these two equations? The basic variables are s1 and s2. So we are going to find these values solution from this. If we are assuming x1, x2 is equal to 0, we get s1 is equal to 5. If we are assuming x1, x2 0 in this second equation, we get s2 is equal to 15. These two are the solutions of initial basic feasible solution, initial basic variables. Okay. Here now we are going to find the initial basic feasible solution. We are representing this into the tabular form. Here we have taken the Cj, contribution of objective function. Cj means contribution of objective function. Here what is how we write this? If z is equal to x1 plus x2 plus 0 s1 plus 0 s2, like plus etc. If suppose if we have these values, x1 is 1, x2 is 2, like this. Here this contribution value, this is the contribution value of x1 variable, this is the contribution value of x2 variable, this is the contribution value of slack variable, this is the contribution value of slack variable. Those values we are going to write here. Contribution, first contribution value, second contribution value, and so on, like that. We are going to write. Next, coming to the table, first column is basic variables. First column is basic variables coefficient. Basic variable coefficient. It is also called as C suffix B, CV. Okay, how we find the basic variable coefficient? What is the basic variable coefficient here? The basic variable coefficient was taken from the objective function. Here, what are the basic variables in our case? Basic variables are S1 and S2. S1 and S2. What is the contribution? What is the basic variable coefficient? Here in objective function, the basic variable coefficient is 0 and 0. So here we are taken 0, 0 like this. Contribution of basic coefficient of basic variable 1, coefficient of basic variable 2, like that, and so on. We are taken here. Okay. Next, coming to the second column, here it is a basic variable column. Here in our case, what are the basic variables? S1 and S2. So like that we are writing. If we have the M basic variables, simply we are taking answer M. Next, coming to the basic variable value, it is also called as the solution value. It represented with XB or SB value. Okay, a basic variable value. What are the basic variables here? We have S1 and S2. What is the value of basic variable 5 and 15? Those values are here we writing. Okay. Next, coming to the variables. Here, how many variables we have? Each linear equation we have 3 variables. Okay, 3, 3, 3. So we are writing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. We are writing the basic variable values there. Okay, it is a initial basic feasible solution. Based on this table, we are going to solve the. We are going to the next iteration. We are going to find the optimal solution. From this here, we are taking the ZJ value. How we take the ZJ value? ZJ value is the summation of basic variable coefficient and the summation of the basic variable coefficient and variable value. If suppose here first we are going to find the ZJ value is ZJ is equal to, what is the basic variable coefficient here? 0 into what is the x1 value here? Here we have the x1 is 1 plus second column, second row. Here what is the basic variable coefficient? 0 into second value is 10. Like that we are going to find ZJ value. And finally we subtract Cj minus ZJ. Cj minus ZJ is, what is the Cj value here? Cj is the objective function contribution values. Okay, we are substituting this like this: C1, Z1, C2, Z2, like that. Next, test for optimality. In third step, we are going to test the optimality. Next, calculate the variables of Cj minus Zj value. What is the Cj? Contribution of objective function, and Zj is contribution of basic variable coefficient and variables Xij. Okay. All non-basic variables we are going to calculate. To obtain the Zj multiplied by each element, already we seen here. If all Cj minus Zj less than or equal to 0, here if all Cj minus Zj less than or equal to 0, the current basic feasible solution is the optimal solution. If it not, we are going to the another solution. This one. If it is greater than or equal to 0, we are going to the another iteration. It's coming to the second point. If at least one column of the coefficient matrix for which Ck minus Zk means we have the coefficients, variables are there, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, like this. Here this is a x2 and this is x1. Here if it is a matrix form like 0, 1, 1, 0, identical matrix, because if we are getting the values are identical and Cj minus Zj are not satisfied this less than or equal to 0, it is not. If not, The solution is called as the unbounded solution. Okay. Next, coming to the step 4, select the variable to enter the basis. Here, in case 3 is there. Here, if at least Cj minus Zj is greater than 0, and each of this column have to list one positive element, and for some row, then this indicates that an improvement in the value of the objective function Z is possible. Here, we are going to find the key rows and key columns and key elements. Based on that, we are going to iterate that, and we are going to calculate that, and we are going to revise the variable values. We find the new contribution values in this table. Okay, next, fifth step is text for feasibility. Find the ratio by dividing the values of XB column. What is the XB column? Solution value. Solution value of basic variable by the positive value of key column. Here we take the key column is from the Cj minus Zj. In this Cj minus Zj, maximum value of this row we are taken as key row, and that is the key row we are taken by the positive values of key column, and find the minimum ratio, and this it means XB by from the solution value and key column we find minimum ratio. Okay, the ratio restricts the number of units of the incoming variables that can be obtained from the exchange. If suppose this key column in minimum ratio, if suppose the key column is having infinity or less than 0, those are negligible. Those are negligible. We are not considering those rows for further iterations. Okay. The intersection element of key row and key column is called as key element. From the minimum ratio, we are choosing the minimum value here. Here, what is the key column? Key column is a maximum value. From this key rows, any row, we take the minimum value from the minimum ratio. Minimum value of minimum ratio, that is called as key row. Okay. These two are intersecting at one point. That element is called as key element. That element is called as key element, or that sometimes that is also called as pivot element. Okay, next, find the new solution. If the key element is 1, then the row remains same in the new simplex table. If the key element is other than 1, we are going to convert that into the 1 by dividing or by subtracting or by adding the solution values and key column by taking the help of key column. Okay, like this. If suppose R1 new, then now we are going to the new table. In that new table, we have to convert the value is 1. The key element is 3. If we have the key element is 3, now we are going to convert the key element is equal to 1 by means R1 by 3. It means old value 3 by 3. We are going to get 1. Okay. The new values of the elements in the remaining rows of the new simplex table can be obtained by performing elementary row operations on all rows so that elements except the key element in the key column are 0. It means if suppose here the key column is we are converting into 1, then remaining values of in this key element in this key column we are going to convert into the 0 by applying the formula. The formula is number in new row is equal to number in old row plus or minus number above or below key element into corresponding number in the row, that is row replaced in steps 6 in 2 here. Okay, this is another example. R2 new is equal to R2 old plus or minus 2R1 new. Next, coming to the final step, repeat the procedure, go to step 3 and repeat the procedure until all the values are Cj minus Zj are either negative or 0. Less than or equal to 0. If it satisfies here Cj minus Zj is less than or equal to 0, the solution is reached optimality. We have the feasible region. The solution is called as optimal solution. Okay. Next, coming to the summary, what we discuss what is the simplex method, conical or standard form of simplex method we discussed, or standard form. Next, we discussed the algorithm of simplex we discussed. Okay. Here coming to the disclaimer, here I used some equations from the open sources. It is this content is used for academic purpose, not for any commercial use. Thank you.